As part of our paper stash smash, I want to show you what I used in June. The first thing I did is use two 6x8 paper pads from Simple Stories called Sunny Days. I had picked these 6x8 paper pads up in a Simple Stories Black Friday special. I think I got 15 pads for some great price. And I got two sets, so I was able to use two. So for the first project, I also used this that I had in my stash. It was a ring-bound book. I had them in my Etsy shop. I'm not sure if they've all sold out of my Etsy shop, but I did have a couple extra that I wanted to go ahead and use. So I made this Hey There Sunshine 8x6 mini album. So I've already got a walkthrough on my channel, so if you want to see that in detail, go check that out. I was able to smash both paper pads in this one book. I thought I would just make two, but no, I needed a lot of paper for this because I had room for 40, 45, I forget how many photos in this book. So if you want to see it in detail, go check that out. I also did have a little bit of paper left over. And with that, I made some simple cards. And then I made some card bases. I don't have out my die cutting machine. So when I get that out, I'll make some sentiments and just some simple thank you cards. So that smashed all the rest of the paper, except for a couple extra pieces that I made some tab punches and a couple of circle punches. So anyhow, that smashed two 6x8 paper pads. The next thing I attacked was the 6x8 paper pads called Just Beachy. Again, from the Simple Stories Black Friday special. I had first made this, a set of two mini albums in this cute little box with little feet. And I said, all right, that's a good project. I can do a quick tutorial on that. So then with the second paper pad, I did another one and made a tutorial on how to do these three items. So check that out. Again, I'm not going to do a walkthrough here because you can see it on my channel with the tutorial and everything. So I smashed almost all of the paper. I did have some scraps left over, and again I made some tabs and just some decorative elements with that. So that is what I did after that. And then the next thing I worked on was this 6x8 paper pad from Simple Stories called True Colors. I had also had some 12x12 paper in it, which I had used for the cover, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, the theme was a little funky to me. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, but I did use things in my stash to decorate it, such as this ephemera that I think came from Paige Evans, and also I added this little dangle to the spine. Now this one I made in sort of a different style. I've done this before, so I do have tutorials on my channel. I actually used a tutorial from this gnome camping set, but modified it because I didn't have stamps like that camping one did. But I'll link that in the description if you remind me. If I forget, remind me. Anyhow, it's got a magnet closure on this side to hold it in because this one is attached at the top with cinch binding. This one's attached at the side. So it was a fun project to do. I got into it after a little while, but you know, sometimes you look at these papers and you're like, oh, what is the theme? What am I supposed to do with that? But anyhow, I sort of like how it came out. So check out that video if you'd like to see the full scope of what I did on that. And then another thing I made with leftovers from the True Colors paper collection, because I did have two collections. I don't know where my other cover ended up. Two covers and two or maybe even three sheets of 12x12 paper. So I made some traveler's notebooks. I was inspired by Little Brit and Co. She did a video and I was watching it as I was crafting on how to make traveler's notebooks. So she has a tutorial. Carolina from Carolina's Crafts has a tutorial. I went back to a tutorial I had made where I actually do 2 of the books. I don't put 3 of these little um, composition notebooks. I do 2 and a folder. And then with the tutorial that I did, I also do I make a folder and put in some sheets of plain paper. I didn't do that because I don't have any plain paper. So I just have the 2 composition notebooks in the little folder. And in the folder, I added a little bookmark, just because. So that was another thing that I made using the True Color sets. You know, it's one of those things, you forget about making these things until you see a video that reminds you of doing it. Because I need to put another ring on here. But I put these little charms that I had gotten from Ollie's a while back. I thought they were cute. And it keeps the... I don't know, I just thought they were cute. So that was something else I made with True Colors. And I still had some scraps left. So I'll show you what I did with the scraps. And in my next video, I show how I took the little scraps, matted them all, and made them into cards. I made 20 cards using these matted scraps, and I've got a video showing you the process. I'm not going to go through all 20 cards now because there's an entire video showing you how that's done. And at this point, I just had a little time left, and I did say I was going to hope to smash this patio party, but I think I'm going to put this back in my stash and not smash it for this month just because I'm running out of time. And I've got other things going on. I'm working on an art challenge. I am trying to spend 15 minutes every day painting with gouache, which is a new medium for me, as well as working on my travel journal because, as you know, I live, travel, and craft in my RV, and we have hit the road, and I am journaling that. So that's a separate video series. So if you're curious as to where I've been in the United States, go ahead and watch that. But that is it for this month. Don't forget to check out all the other collaborators. You will see the playlist at the end right about here. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching and have a fabulous day.